Welcome in our man, Dave Aiken, who is here.
Hey now. Hey.
David, good to see you.
Kelly, you reminded me, you told me yesterday to say something.
I know that.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, say it.
Edibles
There it
and
is.
Magnum PI.
There it is. That's right. You wrote it down.
I did.
I wondered if you'd remember. Edibles and Magnum PI. That's right. See, normally here.
I thought that was it.
No, that's not it.
There was more to it.
There's way more to it.
Okay.
But I was going to say, last night there was this fan that ran on the field on Monday Night Football. And we just saw the video of it.
That's hilarious.
And we're going to really dive into that in the next one. Probably we would have done it here, but I knew we had this edibles and Magnum PI thing going on.
Yeah, the stage was set.
Let me tell you this, though. They showed that. They just showed it on television. On Monday Night Football, this was kind of interesting. You know, ESPN has Monday Night Football. And they didn't show it. They just talked about it. You know, they never show the fans.
There's a fan on the field, a bit of a disturbance, and they usually cut away
to
the announcers or something.
So the reason we have video of it, because they showed it.
Well, that's why they do it, so they don't get more protesters.
Right. They don't
want to do it every show.
They don't want to glorify the protesters.
So apparently, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman said, we got one of these
nut jobs
protesters on the field.
Well, I think what we got to do is make more better connections on third down. You know, talk strategy.
So they talk for a minute. And meanwhile, the guy just gets bum rushed by one of the players. Trucked. And we've got all that in a minute. But Peyton Manning, during the Manning cast last night, which I've never seen, and I hear is great, Peyton and Eli. You know, Eli's like, we got somebody on the field. And Peyton goes, we can show that, can't we? Let's show that. And they were like, no. And he's like, well, I know the A team can't show it, but can't come on. This is
just us.
It's just us. Let's just show. So they showed it.
Why not?
Then Peyton Manning's like, that's awesome. Anyway, we have all that. But this edibles thing.
Yes, and Magnum.
I don't know if it's too, it doesn't really fit within the flow of conversation. But I guess I was talking about edibles yesterday.
Yeah.
And now
you had an encounter over the weekend.
It's not about me.
No?
It's not about me, no. But we were talking about it. Chris, Tim, and I went on a couples weekend to the beach over the weekend. And so I was talking with some guys that you don't know, and I can't say how I know them. All right?
Okay.
I cannot say that.
There's two places you met him.
I absolutely cannot say
Or in line buying it.
I cannot.
Where else do you talk to guys?
It's too.
It's either that or your dealer. And you just don't want to say that.
He ain't got no dealer.
It's too.
He's eating OPs.
It's too personal. I cannot say how I know these guys. But they were talking to us about the trip. They were like, you going on this trip? And, the weather was going to be bad. We're like, well, yeah, we're going, that kind of talk. And he said, a couple of years ago, some friends and I, and it was the whole group, we all went to Asheville, North Carolina, and did like a brewery tour. And he said, the weirdest thing, there's a building there. And on the side of the building is a huge painting of Tom Selleck. Like Magnum PI, in the Magnum PI era.
Like the Hawaiian shirt era?
Yes. And Chunk.
Not the steal your parents' house era?
No, the Magnum PI era. And Chunk, who's a character from Goonies, who I don't know because I haven't seen Goonies. And I was like, really? That seems very strange to me. And they were like, well, here's what happened. We were halfway through our brewery tour, so, we were big into the edibles. And I said, what?
Ears perk up.
And I was like, huh?
You mixed the two?
I was very surprised.
It's Asheville, man.
I was very surprised. He's like, yeah, we've been, we were pretty deep into the edibles by that point. I said, you were?
And breweries? It's an interesting mix.
Brewery tour. I don't know. He just said we were deep into the edibles. And I was very surprised by this crew because we had never discussed that. We don't know each other that well. And he goes, we were deep into the edibles. And I was like, really? So when they came upon this building, and it turned out to be a brewery, that had a giant picture of Tom Selleck as Magnum PI and Chunk from Goonies, they didn't think it was real. They said this is
mass hallucination.
So they all looked at it and said, that can't be real. That's not, why would anyone paint?
It's been laced with something.
Yeah, that'll trip you out if you don't know.
Right.
Get some bad gummies.
So they took a picture of it, and the guy's like, I swear. And I said, that's impossible. There's no picture of Magnum PI on the side of it. But why would it be there? And he's like, no, show. And so he goes through, 1,000 pictures. And he's like, there it is. And and there it was, of course. There's a picture of Magnum PI and Chunk from Goonies on the side of a brewery. What's the name of the brewery?
I think it's Burial.
Yeah.
It is.
And so
I've
why?
seen it, yeah.
Why is it there?
I don't know, but I mean, when you are drunk and you walk outside, you're like, whoa. I got a picture with it. I got pictures of me with it.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
They did too. They did too.
Everybody does.
Of course.
If you go there, you got to.
And I was like, are you kidding me? And they were like, no. And they were so deep into the edibles, they literally thought this is not real. Yeah. They had to go up and like touch the wall and then take pictures. Yeah. And they didn't know for 24 hours when they developed, they were the pictures like, oh, it was real.
I have no clue what the story is, but it is giant.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
What's the wall? Why? It's huge. Yeah.
I think they have a couple of 80s things inside too, and I think there's some. And supposedly Selick retweeted him on it when somebody took a picture, and he's like, "Hey, thanks, guys."
Well, then I looked up online, and of course there it was, and it was all over. Everybody had pictures of it, and I was like, but I'd never heard of it, and those guys hadn't either, apparently. And so when they saw it, they were just stunned. You can imagine how it would be. There's another entertainment story today. This is controversial, but Whoopi Goldberg is speaking out.
Oh, no.
Controversial.
It's controversial. I don't know if you've seen this. A woman apparently reviewed a movie that Whoopi Goldberg was in. I didn't even know she was in movies anymore.
A current film?
Yeah. During Monday's episode of The View, Goldberg was talking about playing a woman named Alma Carthan in a movie, and there was a review of the movie. A woman who writes for one of the websites or magazines wrote about this movie that Whoopi Goldberg was in. Anyway, let me just let Whoopi. She's going to say what the problem was, what the reviewer said.
I have to say something because there was a young lady who writes for one of the magazines, and she was distracted by my fat suit in her review. Now, and I'm just going to say this. I don't really care how you felt about the movie, but you should know that was not a fat suit. That was me. Yeah.
So the movie is called Till. The movie is called Till, T-I-L-L. Apparently she shot it last year, and now it's on the streaming sites.
Oh, God. This is the story of Emmett Till?
Yes. I guess it's the story of Emmett Till. And Whoopi Goldberg's in it.
So it's not comic relief.
No.
It's not like Big Mama's house.
No.
It's not like Medea.
So the reviewer said, I was distracted by Whoopi Goldberg's fat suit. And Whoopi said, let me just let you know.
I kind of almost expected more of a laugh from the audience.
Yeah.
They didn't laugh
That's
at all.
not a fat suit, it's me. You're crazy, Whoopi.
She's not crazy. This was not a fat suit. It was her. Apparently the woman said, I was distracted by this. She shouldn't be wearing a fat suit in this movie. And Whoopi said, I wasn't. That's who I was. But at the time now, she was suffering from something where she had to take steroids. And that's why she was...
They do help you. They do cause weight gain.
Okay. So she says that. And boy, her co-host on The View rallied round her.
That was steroids. Remember last year I had all... Okay, and I was very sick. And so...
That's right.
You were ill and
She
sick.
was big.
Hospital.
And big as a house, I might add.
Big.
Those steroids made you.
We saw her every day. You know how sometimes you see someone every day, you don't notice weight gain. We did.
We saw it daily.
She big.
They really came alongside her.
That was steroids. Remember last year I had all... Okay, and I was very sick. And so... Hospital. And I assume you don't watch the show or you would have known that was not a fat suit. But
Right, exactly. So that's it. So
That may be the best movie review gap
I love
in
it.
history.
Or
When are we going to stop with the fat suits, Hollywood? That was her.
or the writer knew exactly what she was saying.
God.
Apparently, this woman, I just looked it up, she worked for the Daily Beast.
Okay.
And the review has been amended.
I would say it probably has. Oh, my
I say
goodness.
run it as it is.
Oh, my goodness. That's the worst review since I reviewed that movie in college without seeing
Without
the movie.
seeing the movie.
I totally made up what I thought the review of the movie should be for extra credit for my newspaper writing class. And I still feel bad about that.
Still failed ethics.
That's a bad fail. That was what a miss. That's probably why they didn't air me in their documentary on the history of the radio station at Appalachian. Yeah,
There was nothing to plagiarize back then, was there?
Well, wasn't you don't? That's not plagiarism. I didn't
No, that's
steal
just-
somebody else.
that's just lying.
I made
Just
it
an
up.
ethical
Oh
failure
my God! In every possible
and moral
way.
failure.
In every possible way.